Hello guys, how's it going? Like Butter here, welcome back to another Fortnite video, and like with every patch, we're going to be going over the things that are going to be coming in 1.8.2, and this includes one of the most controversial additions to Fortnite Battle Royale that I want to go over with you guys and kind of give my opinions on it and what I, overall think about this major thing that is coming to Fortnite. And if you don't know already, this is the trailer that Fortnite released on Twitter. I'm gonna let you guys watch this and we'll see what you guys think. Alright, so I want to talk about like both sides here, because every story has two sides to it. Now, what you saw was a new consumable item that is going to be added to the new patch, where it has legendary rarity, which means it's not going to be super common. But if you find this potion, you can basically drink the potion and turn yourself into a bush. Now, when I first saw this, I was sure, 100% positive that this was troll, because one of the main things that a lot of players in Fortnite Battle Royale complain about is how annoying it is when somebody camps inside bushes. And it seemed like it was kind of a joke, like they were like, oh, you can drink this potion and turn into a bush, everyone's favorite hiding spot. And the way they said it felt very sarcastic, and I honestly thought that maybe this was a joke and that they were going to nerf bushes, but it turns out that this is actually real. This is not a joke, this is no troll. They're actually adding a consumable that turns you into a bush. Obviously, my first impressions of this were, oh my god, why would they do something so radical like this? Especially when one of the recent dev updates, the question came up of whether they were going to add new weapons, and they said that they were in a position to add a lot of new weapons, but they want to make sure that they slowly add the weapons in so that the meta doesn't shift too much, because the PvE that I've been playing quite a lot recently has a lot of different weapons that they could easily add into the game.
When will you add more weapons to Battle Royale?
So we think we have a huge opportunity to add a lot of weapons to Battle Royale. We're going to pick the ones that we feel fit for core gameplay, and as we're able to balance them into the mix, that's when we'll start introducing them.
But the way they answered it was very, very good. It was very smart, and that's how, weapons should be added into a BR. Slowly added in, not thrown in all at once. So it seemed to me like they were really trying to take this Battle Royale serious, and then they come out with this consumable that turns you into a bush that's going to allow people to run around and sit in place and literally act like a bush and then shoot people as they go by. Now, of course, this is only going to affect the first person they come across as long as you do damage to them. And I don't think the players that usually hide in bushes that get this consumable are really going to make a huge effect on the game. Players who hide in bushes are usually players who aren't really confident in going out and trying to like get airdrops and play aggressive. It's just not their style. What they do is they basically camp in the bush for most of the game, and they wait until the final fight, and then they fight. And a lot of people think that that's a strategy. I personally just don't see the point of it, but people do it and people like doing it. So hey man, if that's your thing, that's cool. But 99% of the people who play like that aren't going to be out going for supply drops and stuff like that to try to get these items. However, this consumable does drop in the loot chests that can be found all over the place, and I really think that this is going to be one of those things where the players that go way off on their own and are going to be like looting the little shacks and the little buildings that can sometimes have these, consumables in them if there's a loot chest. I think those people are going to get it and they're just going to sit down, and I think it's going to be pretty hilarious, but also extremely annoying. So it's not a surprise that the community is acting very negatively to it. And then you have the other side of things, like I've saw some really big streamers who happen to be friends of mine who are super good at this game and like this game a lot, and they think it's good for the game because it's different. It's not something that's seen in an everyday battle royale. Like, yeah, you can in H1Z1 and in PUBG you can get ghillie suits and you can basically pretend to be a bush, but essentially you can still see that they're a ghillie suit and not a bush. You just got to look really closely. But here it looks like you're going to turn straight up into a bush. And what I'm more worried about, instead of the people that are going to be sitting still, I'm more worried about the fact that I think that this is going to throw people off when peeking players with snipers and stuff. So think of this scenario, right? So you're in a 1v1 situation and you're in, a tower, and they built a tower as well. And they peek, and you see it, and you scope down with your sniper, and you just see a bush peeking the corner of their base. Like, I could find that to be a little bit hard to, like, know exactly where their head is. I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to take some getting used to if people do that, because I do know for a fact if I find this bush cosmetic, I'm not going to be sitting down in one spot. I'm going to be up in a base, like, or just rushing people and just using that like skin to my advantage. But here's the thing, and this is the other side of it, and after it sunk in for a while and I realized that it was a real thing, I got to thinking about it, and I think it's one of those things where the community is reacting really negatively to it because it seems like such a major change, but I honestly think that this isn't going to change much. It reminds me of back when they showed that you could finally cut the rope in the Division, where one of the main mechanics of the Division was to put your loot on this rope that was lowered down by the helicopter, and then after you put that loot on the rope, nobody could interact with it, so you were basically safe. Then they added a mechanic where you could actually cut the rope, and people thought that this was going to be the end of the dark zone, that it was going to create this huge problem where everyone's cutting the rope and everybody is just destroying the fun of the dark zone. And it turned out that it wasn't the case at all. Even though it seemed like such a major mechanic, it really didn't happen that often because of the scenarios that have to go right in order for you to be able to do that. You have to kill the player that put it on, and then you have to cut the rope for like 7 seconds. And by the time that happens, most players started to smarten up and started to, wait until the final 10-15 seconds to put their loot on, and then they didn't have time to cut the rope. And you could also knock them out and stagger them to get them out of the cutting animation. Like, there was just tons of ways, but people didn't know that, and people reacted really crazily to that and said, and kind of jumped the gun. And I think that's something I did with this consumable thing. I kind of jumped the gun and thought immediately the worst case scenario, which would be everyone kind of sitting down and pretending to be bushes while I'm trying to like get high kill games, and then all of a sudden it ends up being the final 5 and the circle's so small that I can see everything, and then there's just bushes. So I don't know. I honestly think that this could be really bad for the game, or it could be really kind of trolly and kind of funny. But here's the question that I have. If they're going for a more trolly, more just kind of fun, not serious battle royale, why not add weapons? Why not, what's the point of waiting to slowly add weapons in, like you're taking it serious, if you're going to allow people to get turned into bushes? Like, it just seems like they can't really figure out if they want it to be a serious BR, if they want it to be a goofy, funny BR. Honestly, it can be either, and I'll enjoy it, but I seriously am split on this decision to put something, like, it's just so radical and so out of the ordinary that it could actually be really funny. There could be some really fun situations where people pretend to be bushes and then all of a sudden kill an entire squad. Like, it's gonna make for some really funny Twitch and YouTube highlights, And I think that's kind of what they're going for. If you ever watch like some of the PUBG highlights that you'll see, it's things like people flying over, you know, mountains in cars and then doing this crazy flip. And it's just a lot of funny things that happen that can't really happen in Fortnite. And I think they're trying to add more situations and more like gameplay styles to make out for some really funny moments. And nobody knows how it's going to be except the devs that have tested it. No one, until it's actually played and actually tested, no one's really going to know how it is. So we'll just have to wait and see. But that is the major change to this update. They also talked about performance and other things that they're working on. Also, the season shop is going to be coming with this patch as well, which essentially is just items that are going to be released on a monthly basis or however long a season is. I'm assuming it's per month. And there's going to be these skins that you unlock the availability to buy them. Now, I'm not sure how I really feel about that because there's already cosmetics in the game. So to have the season shop also be just another way to buy cosmetics, I'm not really sure if that's the direction that they should have went with that, but I totally understand that it's a free-to-play game and they have to make money somehow. But it would be nice if some of the progression in the game allowed you to get something for free. You know, that's just my personal opinion. Even if it's not like these amazing skins, just something to work for in the game. I saw a lot of people suggesting maybe allowing players to earn V-Bucks, but to be perfectly honest with you, if you can earn V-Bucks in VR, I don't think I would really have ever wanted to play the PvE, because you can farm the V-Bucks in PvE, which I'm actually going to be putting together kind of like a little tutorial for people who are new to PvE and have no idea how to farm V-Bucks. It's pretty simple, but you know, there's a lot of players out there that really don't understand how many V-Bucks you can get. I've already gotten over 5,000 V-Bucks for the amount of time I've played. It's not that much. I've put, I don't know, like 90, 100 hours, something like that to the PvE. And to get 5,000 V-Bucks, which essentially is around $50 if you're buying the V-Bucks, I think that's pretty damn good. So let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about the new season shop? What do you guys think about the Bush consumable? I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but if you watch the gameplay here on screen, which was a pretty decent game, by the way, we ended up not winning, but we had a decent amount of kills. You run by a lot of bushes, and it's not, I don't think it's a viable tactic to shoot every bush that you see, because every bush that you see, like if you were to shoot it, you would just be giving out your position to everyone else, and 99.999999999% of the time, the bush that you shoot is not going to be a player. I think that it's also going to be easier than we think to notice if it's a bush, because if you notice the patterns of some of the bushes, I'm even like aiming on it here on screen, you can notice that a lot of the bushes have certain like odd structures to them. They just look like really weird, I don't know how to really explain it, like weird shapes, I guess. So I think this is going to be something that people get used to. I think it's going to be more obvious than we know once people start to learn like kind of where the bushes are. I mean, it's too much to kind of memorize where every single bush is in the map, but I think it's not going to be as game breaking as people are making it out to be. I really don't. And I think from the amount of times and the amount I've played this game, I've been killed by 2 bush campers ever. I've killed probably 50 bush campers in this game, because when you play more and your game sense goes up, you start to figure out like where people are going to be in certain situations. And if this is the direction they want to take Fortnite, more of like silly, not serious type of thing, I'm cool with that. I think it's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of funny moments and a lot of frustrating moments with this new feature, but I want to hear what you guys think. But yeah, I'm going to let the rest of the video play. You guys can watch how it plays out. Pretty unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.